Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to break down 9th standard science first unit measurement. Here we are going to see line by line important one mark questions. It is useful for those who are preparing for government exams. First question, measurement is the basis of all important dash study. The answer is scientific study. Second question, measurement is defined as the determination of the size or dash of a quantity. The answer is magnitude. Third question, physical quantities can be classified into two types, fundamental quantities and dash quantities. The answer is derived quantities. Fourth question, quantities which cannot be expressed in terms of any other physical quantities are called dash quantities. The answer is fundamental quantities. Area, volume and density are examples of dash quantities. The answer is derived quantities. A dash is a standard quantity with which the unknown quantities are compared. The answer is unit. The CGS system uses the dash as the unit for length, the gram for mass, and the second for time. The answer is centimeter for length. In the FPS system, FPS stands for dash. The answer is foot, pound, and second. The MKS system uses the dash as the unit for mass. The answer is kilogram. At the end of the dash, there was a necessity to use a worldwide system of measurement. The answer is Second World War. The SI system of units was developed and recommended by the General Conference on Weights and Measures at Paris in the year 1960. There are dash fundamental units in the SI system of units 7. The units used to measure the fundamental quantities are called fundamental units. The SI unit of temperature is the dash. The answer is Kelvin. The SI unit for the amount of substance is dash. The answer is mole. 1 meter is the distance traveled by light through a vacuum in 1 divided by 29 crore 97 lakh 92,458 of a dash. The answer is second. The expression for calculating velocity is dash divided by time. Displacement divided by time. The unit for momentum is written as dash. Kilogram meter per second. Acceleration is calculated by dividing dash by time. Velocity by time. The two alternative units listed for pressure are Newton per meter squared or Pascal. PA. Energy shares the same expression and units as dash. Work. The expression for surface tension is dash divided by length. Force divided by length. In order to measure very large distances, we can use units such as the astronomical units light year and dash. The answer is parsec. Astronomical unit AU is the mean distance of the center of the sun from the center of dash. The earth. 1 AU is equal to dash 1.496 into 10 to the power 11 meter. Dash is the distance traveled by light in 1 year in vacuum. Light year. A light year is equal to dash 9.46 into 10 to the power 15 meter. Parsec is the unit of distance used to measure astronomical objects outside the dash system, solar system. 1 parsec is equal to dash 3.26 light years. 1 parsec PC is equal to dash 3.08 into 10 to the power 16 meter. The nearest star Alpha Centauri is about dash parsec from the sun 1.34. Most of the stars visible to the unaided eye in the night sky are within dash parsec distance from the sun 500 parsec. To measure small distances such as the size of the nucleus, we use submultiples of 10 and these quantities are measured in dash unit. Angstrom unit. 1 Fermi is equal to dash 10 to the power minus 15 meter. Mass is the quantity of dash contained in a body. Matter contained in a body. The SI unit of mass is kilogram. 1 kilogram is the mass of a particular international prototype cylinder made up of dash alloy kept at Sèvres in France. Platinum iridium. The units gram and milligram are submultiples of 10 of the unit dash kilogram. 1 quintal is equal to dash 100 kilogram. 1 metric ton is equal to dash 10 quintal. Mass of a proton, neutron and electron can be determined using dash atomic mass unit AMU. 1 AMU is equal to 1/12 of the mass of a dash atom, carbon 12 atom. The mass of 1 ml of water is 1 gram. Dash is the measure of duration of events and the intervals between them. Time. The SI unit of time is second. 1 second is the time required for light to propagate dash meters through vacuum. 29 crore 97 lakh 92,458 meter through vacuum. 1 second is defined as 1 divided by 86,400 part of a mean dash day, solar day. 1 millennium is equal to dash 3.16 into 10 to the power 9 second. Temperature is the measure of hotness or dash of a body, coldness of a body. The SI unit of temperature is Kelvin. 1 Kelvin is the fraction of the 1 Kelvin is the fraction of dash of the thermodynamic temperature of the triple point of water. The answer is 1 divided by 273.16. 0 Kelvin is commonly known as absolute zero. The prefix for the power of 10 to the power 15 is dash and its symbol is P. Peta. The prefix for the power of 10 to the power minus 6 is dash and its symbol is mu. Micro. The units named after scientists are not written with the dash initial letter, capital initial letter. The symbols of the units named after scientists should be written by the dash initial capital letter. Small letters are used as symbols for units not derived from a proper noun. No full stop or dash should be used within or at the end of the symbol. Punctuation marks. The symbols of the units are not expressed in dash form, plural form. When temperature is expressed in Kelvin, the dash sign is omitted, degree sign is omitted. Use of dash is recommended for indicating a division of one unit symbol by another unit symbol. Solidus. The number and units should be separated by a dash space. The dash values of physical quantities should be written in scientific form. Numerical values. In our daily life, we use dash for measuring length. Meter scale. The smallest length which can be measured by a meter scale is dash. Least count. Usually, the least count of a meter scale is dash 1 millimeter. By using vernier caliper, we can have an accuracy of dash 0.1 millimeter or 0.01 centimeter. With a screw gauge, we can have an accuracy of 0.01 millimeter. The vernier caliper consists of a thin long steel scale graduated in centimeter and millimeter called main scale. To the left end of the main scale, an upper and a lower jaw are fixed, dash to the bar perpendicular. To the right of the fixed jaw, a slider with an upper and a lower movable jaw is fixed. The vernier scale is marked on the dash and it moves along with the movable jaw slider. The lower jaw are used to measure the dash dimension of the object. External dimension. The upper jaw are used to measure the dash dimension of the objects. Internal dimension. The thin bar attached to the right side of the vernier scale is used to measure the dash of a hollow objects. Depth of the hollow objects. The first step in using the vernier caliper is to find out its least count, range and zero error. Least count of the instrument is equal to the value of one main scale division divided by dash total number of vernier scale division. In the vernier scale there will be dash divisions, 10 divisions. To check for zero error, unscrew the slider and move it to the left such that both the jaws dash each other, touch each other. If the zero marking of the main scale coincides with that of the zero of the vernier scale, then there is no zero error. If the zero marking of the main scale do not coincides with the zero of the vernier scale, the instrument is said to possess zero error. Zero error may be positive or negative. If the zero of a vernier is shifted to the dash of the main scale, it is called positive error, right of the main scale. If the zero of the vernier is shifted to the left of the zero of the main scale, then the error is negative error. For a positive zero error, the reading will be dash than the actual reading, more than the actual reading. For a negative zero error, the obtained reading will be dash than the actual reading, less than the actual reading. If the positive zero error is plus 0.05 centimeter, then the zero correction is dash minus 0.05 centimeter. If the negative zero error is minus 0.04 centimeter, then the zero correction is plus 0.04 centimeter. If the length, width and height of the object can be measured, dash can be calculated. Volume can be calculated. We can measure the inner diameter of the beaker using dash jaws, appropriate jaws. We can calculate the inner volume of the beaker by measuring its depth using the depth probe. Digital vernier caliper has a digital display on the dash which calculates and displays the measured value. The answer is slider. The user need not manually calculate the dash, zero error, etc. Least count. Screw gauge is an instrument that can measure the dimensions up to dash of a millimeter or 0.01 millimeter. 1 divided by 100th of a millimeter or 0.01 millimeter. With the screw gauge, it is possible to measure the diameter of a dash and thickness of thin metallic plates. The answer is diameter of a thin wire. The screw gauge consists of a dash metal frame, U-shaped metal frame. A hollow cylinder is attached to one end of the dash frame. On the cylinder, parallel to the axis of the screw, there is a scale which is graduated in millimeter called pitch scale. The head of the sleeve thimble is divided into dash divisions and is called the head scale 100 divisions. The screw gauge works on the principle that when a screw rotates in a nut, the distance moved by the tip of the screw is directly proportional to the dash number of rotations. The distance moved by the tip of the screw for one complete rotation of the head is called dash pitch of the screw. The pitch of the screw is equal to dash in typical screw gauges 1 millimeter. The distance moved by the tip of the screw for a rotation of one division on the head scale is called the least count of the screw gauge. When the movable stud of the screw and the opposite fixed stud on the frame are brought into contact, if the zero of the head scale coincides with the pitch scale axis, there is no zero error. When the movable stud of the screw and the opposite fixed stud on the frame are brought into contact, if the zero of the head scale lies below the pitch scale axis, the zero error is dash positive. If the fifth division of the head scale coincides with the pitch scale axis, the positive zero error is plus 0.05 millimeter. For a positive zero error of plus 0.05 millimeter, the zero correction is dash minus 0.05 millimeter. When the plane surface of the screw and the opposite plane stud on the frame are brought into contact, if the zero of the head scale lies above the pitch scale axis, the zero error is dash negative. Here, above the pitch scale means negative, below the pitch scale means it is positive. If the 95th division coincides with the pitch scale axis, the negative zero error is minus 0.05 millimeter. For a negative zero error of minus 0.05 millimeter, the zero correction is plus 0.05 millimeter. Next, we commonly use the term weight, which is actually the dash mass. The SI unit of mass is dash kilogram. The shell of an egg is dash of its mass, 12% of its mass. A blue whale can weigh as much as dash and it is as long as 3 large tour buses. The answer is 30 elephants. A beam balance compares the sample mass with a dash standard reference mass. A common beam balance can measure mass accurately up to dash 5 gram. Dash is used in labs and is similar to the beam balance, but it is a lot more sensitive. The answer is physical balance. A physical balance can measure mass of an object correct to a dash milligram. The standard reference masses used in a physical balance range from 10 milligram up to dash 200 gram. For accurate measurements nowadays, dash are used. Digital balances. Digital balances can measure mass accurately even up to a few dash milligrams. The least value being measured by a digital balance is dash 10 milligram. A digital balance is an dash device that is commonly used in jewelry shops and labs. Electrical device. But we all know it is an electronic device. A dash helps us to find the weight of an object. Spring balance. A spring balance consists of a spring fixed at one end and a dash attached to a rod at the other end. Hook. A spring balance works by dash. Hooke's law. Hooke's law states that the addition of weight produces a dash in the length of the spring. Proportional increase. A pointer is attached to the rod which slides over a dash on the right. Graduated scale on the right. Dash is the quantity of matter contained in a body. Mass. Weight is the dash exerted by the surface on the body to balance against gravitational pull. Normal force. In the case of a spring scale, the dash in the spring balances the gravitational pull on the object. Tension. The gravitational force acting on the object is given by dash mg, that is W equal to mg. In the formula for weight, g represents dash acceleration due to gravity. If a man has a mass of 50 kg on the earth, then his weight is dash. Use the formula W equal to mg. M value is 50 and g value is 9.8. 50 into 9.8 we get 490 Newton. The pull of gravity on the moon is dash times weaker than that on the earth. 1 by 6 times or 1/6 times. Acceleration due to gravity on the moon is dash 1.63 meter per second squared. If the mass of a man is 70 kg, his weight on the earth is dash. Use the formula W equal to mg, mass 70 and acceleration due to gravity on earth is 9.8. So finally we get 686 Newton. A man with a mass of 70 kg on earth will have a weight of dash on the moon. Use the formula W equal to mg, mass is 70 kg and the acceleration due to gravity on moon is 1.63. Substitute that, we get the answer as 114.1 Newton. Even if weight changes on the moon, a man's mass is still dash on the moon, 70 kg. Next topic, accuracy. Accuracy represents how close a measurement comes to a dash value, true value. Accuracy in measurement is center in engineering, physics and all branches of science. Dash and human error can lead to inaccurate values, faulty instruments and human error. Repeating the measurement and getting the dash can correct errors and give us an accurate value, average value. Quantities which cannot be expressed in terms of any other physical quantity are called fundamental quantities. Quantities which can be expressed in terms of fundamental quantities are called derived quantities. A dash is a fundamental quantity with which unknown quantities are compared. Unit: length, mass, time, temperature, electric current, intensity and mole are the dash in the SI system. Fundamental units. To find the length or thickness of smaller dimensions, a dash and screw gauge are used. Vernier caliper and screw gauge are used. And dash is the mean distance of the sun from the center of the earth. Astronomical unit: 1 AU is equal to dash 1.496 into 10 to the power 11 meter. Dash is the distance travelled by light in 1 year in vacuum. Light year: 1 light year is equal to dash 9.46 into 10 to the power 15 meter. Dash is the unit of distance used to measure astronomical objects outside the solar system. Parsec: 1 angstrom is equal to dash 10 to the power minus 10 meter. The SI unit of volume is cubic meter, that is meter cube. Generally, the volume of liquids is represented in liter. 1 milliliter is equal to 1 cubic centimeter, that is 1 centimeter cube. The least count of a screw gauge is dash 0.01 millimeter. The least count of a vernier caliper is dash 0.01 centimeter. A common balance can measure mass accurately up to dash 5 gram. The accuracy of a physical balance is dash 10 milligram. Dash is the distance light travels in a vacuum in 1 divided by 29 crore 97 lakh 92,458 of a second meter. Dash is the mass of an international prototype in the form of platinum iridium cylinder kept at Sèvres in France. Kilogram. Dash is the length of time taken for 919 crore 26 lakh 31,770 periods of vibration of the cesium 133 atom to occur. The answer is second. Dash is that current which produces a specified force between two parallel wires which are 1 meter apart in a vacuum. Ampere. Dash is 1 divided by 273.16 of the thermodynamic temperature of the triple point of water. Kelvin. Dash is the amount of substance that contains as many elementary units as there are atoms in 0.012 kilogram of carbon 12 mole. Dash is the intensity of a source of light of a specified frequency which gives a specified amount of power in a given direction. Candela. Comment me next which unit you like to watch. Thank you.